Hello and welcome to another episode of arcDéco CineLab. This is your host, Rex. So if you're wondering, this video is indeed in 4K. And you might be thinking, wow, Rex, you're reviewing this product with your Red in 4K. That might be something really exciting to talk about. Well, actually, let me show you this. Because what you're looking at is actually not my Red. And yes, this is indeed the GoPro HERO4 Black Edition. And of course, GoPro camera has been around for a little while. I got my first GoPro Hero 2 camera through Mercedes-Benz America. And of course, I got that camera because I won competitions to make a short film about the brand new 2012 Mercedes C-Class at the time. Of course, I've been making car video for a while, and now airsoft is such my biggest hobby right now. I do use my little action camera very often, and my GoPro Hero 2 has been fairly dated since the 3 came out, and I've just been dying for an update. Well, let's go in the camera a little bit instead of talking about my personal interest and hobby and all that stuff. This is the GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition, so this is the 4K version. Now, with this new camera coming out, they have a few things. They have the Black Editions and they have the Silver Editions, and in conjunction to launching these two cameras, they also have the lower end line, which is just the GoPro Hero camera. This Black Edition in particular is a 4K camera, of course, like I said. It's now finally, instead of like the GoPro Hero 3 or 3 Plus, which can only do 15 frames per second in 4K, which really is only good for time-lapse and still images. This actually can do 30 frames per second video recording in 4K. And that is really nice. Of course, you can go to a 24 frames per second as well if you're looking for more of like a cinematic look. And what is also really attractive for this is you can go to 2.7K, which is a little bit bigger than your standard 1080p. Then you can do a little downsampling while you're trying to go for like a web releases or 1080p releases to give you that extra pixel to reframe or just to have a better, debayer downsampling. Other very great features about this is the 1080p 120, and yes, it is 120 frames per second, which is a fantastic slow-mo action camera, and I'm just dying to test this out. This literally just came out of the box this morning. I went to the store and purchased it, and I haven't really done a lot of shooting with this just yet, but I'm gonna do that in just a second as soon as I'm done with this review, and I'm gonna go out there. But there's another unboxing video. It's just like a straight unboxing video, which I'll also attach in the link below. But of course, you'll see some of the unboxing footage in this video as well. Then let's go back to the camera itself. Of course, 4K, 30 frames per second. Each of the recording mode also come with a super view mode, which actually have an S denote to it, like a 4K-S or 2.7S, 1080S. And that is a super view mode. Super view mode simply just expand your field of vision even more. They claim to have a more immersive experience for your video, but I just feel like the fisheye is just a little bit more, it's a little bit extreme, but you do allow to see a lot of stuff around you. So I guess that's why they call it super view. It's kind of like, this crazy fisheye effect. It does use a small, the micro SD card, just like the 3 Plus. The form factor is very similar to a 3. And in fact, some of the accessories that come with it will work from the 3, like the backpack batteries and the backpack monitor. However, they do have a new battery system, so your GoPro Hero 3 batteries will not be compatible. It's just like a door at the bottom, and it will pull this out. It's just like that. It's pretty tiny. The 3 was kind of in the back, you have to like pop it out, but this is a bottom release. Your charging port, which is also great. They keep the USB port that is the more common version instead of like a skinny one like you'll find in like a Replay XD. So this is fantastic. You can have a lot of cables that charges your Android phones and stuff. Those will be readily available. Of course, HDMI port right there, and this is of course the micro SD card slot. It is kind of interesting for the GoPro Hero 4 line because the Black Edition doesn't come with a screen in the back, while the Silver Edition do come with a screen built into the camera. And that is actually is an interesting choice because all the 3 line, they don't have a camera in the back that looks exactly like this. So if you have to have a monitor, you do have to put a little backpack on it, and it's a touchscreen. It's pretty nice. And this really kind of changes your buyer perspective a little bit. You know, for me, I never even use the back screen anyway because it sucks up batteries. And when I'm doing action shot, I have my camera, you know, on me all the time, so I can't actually see the screen, and it's just gonna suck up batteries. So I don't really need that. The Black Edition really kind of suit, you know, what my needs are. But of course, some people might want to say, well, I really can never really see what the hell I'm filming, so you want the Silver Edition with the screen in the back. And that is interesting. And you might be worried that since they have a screen in the back, you might not be able to attach the touchscreen module that you have in the past, or you'd be interested in purchasing a new one, or the backpack batteries. And that is not true because they do still have that slot, the contact slot on the side, and then the latch on the side. So whatever accessory you're going to put in the back, it's just going to cover that right up, and it will work. And this little guy, I took it out of the box and put a 32 gig micro SD in there. I'm using a SanDisk Ultra. I think they actually recommend the Extreme, but I look at the data rate. It is 48 meg per second, which is about the same, you know, as the Ultra that I'm using. It's 45 meg per second, so it will work just fine. And when I pop the card in, I kind of do a fresh format on the camera. And at 4K, it's giving me 1 hour and 6 minutes, and same thing for 1080p, 120 frames per second. It's also giving me a 1 hour 6 minute recording time on the 32 gig micro SD card. So size of the compression is a little different. So you might want to really get bigger cards for this guy if you're thinking about recording in 4K or ultra slow-mo and 120 frames per second. But micro SD cards are really cheap, so you can pick them up on Amazon like, you know, just like nothing. And now, as a camera savvy person, I'm also very interested about what their optic choices are. Of course, going back to the GoPro Hero 2 days, the optics are they're fairly bad. I mean, they're kind of have really low light, really bad low light capabilities. And of course, the sensor back in the day is not very great either. And then the 3, they really kind of come around and changes a lot of things, especially when they start integrating the Pro mode, which you can shoot on the flatter profile. But their lenses itself, optically, is better in the GoPro Hero 3 than the 2. And the standard 3 Black Editions, it has a f2.8 lens in there. And the 3 Plus even have an f2.2. So it's quite a bit better than the, you know, your GoPro Hero 2 capability at the dark environment. And of course, the sensor is also a little bit better. What they claim for the 4 is the sensor is even better in low light, but I can't find the actual spec of what the lens aperture is, so I can't really tell you what the specific numbers are, but I do hope that it's better. They do have a night mode that is better for, I think, time lapse, and I don't know if that is working for video yet, so that's something I'm also interested in testing out. And also, a new feature with the firmware on this guy is you can change this hotkeys on the side for a video tag, which is really helpful. You know, if you're doing cool stuff out there, either, you know, skating or snowboarding, or for me, you know, airsofting, you can sometimes you just walk around with a lot of random footage and you don't know where good things are. Like if you get a really cool you know, score somewhere, and you can just now with the setup of a hotkey on the side, you can just tag it on the video. And of course, when you bring it into the GoPro Studio, I think that's where they're going to be recognizing you, where you actually tag the video. And something I'm also going to test out and see if that would translate into, say, like a Premiere NLE, it's like a bookmark or something like that. And that would be really cool if they can actually key that into the actual metadata. But once in all, I'm very, very excited about this. Finally came out. I think it's going to be a great update for the GoPro camera line. So I personally actually doesn't own a GoPro Hero 3. However, I do have the 2 that I was mentioning about. So let's do a quick comparison on size. They really came a long way. Just the camera itself, I mean, the form factor is very similar. That's why you can use some of the back attachment pieces like the monitor and the backpack and stuff like that. But the camera itself has slimmed down quite a bit. And of course, the battery size has changed drastically. And this is the batteries for the 2, and of course the batteries for the 4 is about 2/3 of that size. so that's pretty nice. User did experience a reduced battery life in the 3 line, and I think the 4, if it is not the same, it's probably going to be a little less battery life, just because the board is recording a higher frame rate and it's working harder. That's why they're storing more batteries. So that's it, folks. That's my initial review for the GoPro Hero 4 Black Editions, and I'll be posting more shooting video and actual test footage here very soon. But until then, go there and have some fun. Make a movie, shoot a video, just enjoy the weather, and I'll see you next time back here on arcDéco CineLab.